Hello there. Thank you for listening to Shawn1113 podcast show. I am your host as usual, Shawn1113. If you love this content, please hit up email Shawn47k@gmail.com or on X, Twitter X page. For now on, we are going to be exclusive. The Shawn1113 podcast show coming to you from Spotify for Creatives.com, and it's going to be now exclusively on X. So if you want to see the Shawn1113 podcast show, please go to my X. Please go to my X Twitter X for that exclusivity. Um, the Shawn1113 video, um, channel on YouTube, Shawn1113 Network, will be on all platforms, but the podcast show will now be on X. X. So after I record this video. So make sure you tune into that on X. I will put the link in the description for that. So if you want to go there or any other platform you may be listening to. Now, NFL has returned. College football week 2. I mean, a lot of things have happened. The insane comeback by the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings comeback. I don't know which one was a bigger comeback: the Bills comeback over the Ravens, or the Vikings over Bears. But week 1 was something else. I was 11-5 during that week 1. I was 3-3 on the pick 6 college football. But I have a lot of thoughts also. Week 1, Indianapolis was impressive. Miami, as a Miami Dolphin fan, I got to tell you the truth. That was bad. Tour was bad. I mean, I can't even sugarcoat it. My fans who hate the Miami Dolphins, don't waste your time. Miami Dolphin fans will tell you for themselves how bad it was. Okay, so we can save you that time. It was bad. Tua was horrible. Worst game I've ever seen. And he looked like he was a scared chicken, in my opinion. So hopefully they can shape up straight for my Dolphins. But if this continues, Mike McDaniel is already in the hot seat. It's only even one game. He's already in the hot seat, in my opinion. We'll see what happens there against New England when I make my picks for week 2 in the NFL season. College football, not a whole lot of surprises, but except the South Florida one, oof, I did not expect that. We'll see against the Miami Hurricanes next. Florida, got probably the most brutal schedule in college football. Going, I mean, from week 3 on out, brutal. But that's the SC for you, isn't it? Honestly, but it was some good college football games there. A lot of blowouts. What else can I tell you? Congratulations in order for U.S. Open tennis as far as U.S. Open tennis goes. Congratulations to Arena Sabalenka. I predicted this 2 weeks ago that if you look at the other podcast, and I'm gonna let you know right now, I predicted Arena Sabalenka to win the U.S. Open Women's Tennis title, and also predicted Carlos Alcaraz, who is now clearly the best men's tennis player in the world, if there was any doubt, to win the men's U.S. Open Championship. Alcaraz is that good, folks. I mean, Djokovic tried, Skinner tried. Skinner's not far up there anyway, but Alcatraz is on a world zone when it comes to men's tennis. And it's going to take a long while before anybody goes to Carlos Alcaraz right now. And it's pretty clear. Pretty good. But congratulations to the two of them for both Sabalenka and Alcaraz winning their respective singles titles, in my opinion. Now, Major League Baseball. Since there were no Premier League World Football this week, Let's go to the Major League Baseball standings. Right now in the American League, Blue Jays still lead, but now the Yankees have gotten hot at the right time at 7-3 in their last 10, 2 games behind Toronto. Red Sox are not far behind with a 3 games. Now, the American League standard, that might not make any sense, but it's a 3-team race in the American League East. In the AL Central, Tigers still have a pretty healthy lead, but now Cleveland catching up, Wolves catch up, wild card, and then AL West, Astros and Mariners, 2 games, Rangers. That's going to be a 3-team race. Also, the fact that it's going to be a wild scramble for the wild card when we get to the end of September and early October. In the National League, the Phillies have a healthy lead over the Mets. By 8 games, they're playing better ball right now. So, I think Philly, the only team, I think the Phillies will wrap it up pretty soon. Brewers, 7.5 over the Cubs. Seems like the Cubs will go to the wild card at least. Right now, but the Brewers are in total control. You should win the Central pretty soon. Dodgers, Padres, maybe Giants might be in the wild card, but 1 game over the Padres. I think both of those teams, both the Dodgers and Padres, will make the playoffs without any trouble whatsoever. Although my Dodgers are sputtering though at 3-7, the Giants are catching up at 7-3, making it a very interesting race. We'll see what Diamondbacks is probably not out of it. Anything if you're 72, you're definitely in the hunt for the wild card in the American League, in the National League, and the American League. If you're in the American League, probably 70, 73 and 76 games might put you in the wild card. So we'll see what happens. We got a long way for September, so we'll see what happens there. And I well now well we don't know, but that's the Major League Baseball. Now on to the college. Shawn Steele's college football picks week 3 and NFL picks week 2. Give me 1 second to show that. Okay. Like I said, thank you for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show, wherever platform you may be listening to. Now, Shawn Steele's and CB, uh, CFP picks 2025-2026, week 3. Wisconsin and Alabama, picking Alabama. Everything's going to be listed, so don't worry. All my predictions are going to be listed down in the description as it happens. Shawn Steele's week 3, Wisconsin, Alabama. It will be Alabama. Clemson and Georgia Tech picking Clemson. Georgia and Tennessee picking Georgia. Very lukewarm about that game. Florida and LSU picking LSU. Minnesota and California picking Minnesota. And Texas A&M and Notre Dame picking Notre Dame to win that game. Now Shawn Steele's NFL picks week 2. I was 11-5, like I said last week. Washington and Green Bay picking Green Bay. Jacksonville, Cincinnati picking Jacksonville. New York Giants and Dallas picking Dallas. Chicago against Detroit picking Detroit. LA Rams and Tennessee picking the Rams. New England, Miami, I'm picking Miami reluctantly, to be honest with you. San Francisco and New Orleans picking San Francisco. Buffalo and the New York Jets. Jets did play much better, but I'm picking Buffalo. Seattle and Pittsburgh picking Pittsburgh. Cleveland and Baltimore. Baltimore is definitely going to take it out of Cleveland. Without a doubt, I'm picking Baltimore. Denver and Indianapolis. Indianapolis may be one of those under the radar teams that could do some damage. Later in the season. But I'm picking Denver over Indianapolis. Carolina and Arizona, the stinker of the week, picking Arizona still. Philadelphia and Kansas City in the Super Bowl rematch. Well, I would pick Philadelphia, except Kansas City at home, and I think they don't hardly ever lose at home. So picking Kansas City. But that can go either way. Atlanta and Minnesota, picking Minnesota on Monday night. Tampa, well, that's a Sunday night game, okay. Tampa Bay and Houston, picking Tampa Bay. And the LA Chargers in Las Vegas, I'm picking the Chargers in that one. That is the Sean Steele's college football and NFL picks. And with that, that is the Shawn1113 podcast show, recorded September 9th, 2025. And again, thank you so much for listening to this podcast, wherever platform you may be listening to, and it now will be exclusively on that. With that, please stay encouraged no matter what. Live your life as normal as possible in an abnormal world. Thank you so much for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show. God bless you.